All right, guys, today we are going to be going through all 75 of the new Battlegrounds buddies. So we're going to be taking a look at them, and then I've prepared a tier list here, and I'm going to try to put them into a tier list and rate them. But yeah, so I'm just going to be rating them based on, I don't know, maybe like, how easy it is to use, how fast you get it, like the basic stats on the minion, and of course, like how versatile it is, how many different builds you can use it in. All those kinds of things can be taken into consideration. This is just my opinion. We're just gonna see like my initial thoughts on these and how good I think they are, and then and then I can make a video like a month after these come out and see how if I was right or wrong about them. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna get into it. If anyone is just wanting to watch the video just to see the certain cards, I'm gonna be going over them like this too, like so you can see them better like that. So that should be a lot better, actually. I wonder if we can even maybe zoom in so that when we click on each one, it's going to be bigger here. Let's do that. Yeah, perfect. All right. So we're going to start going alphabetical order. They have them on the website. The tier list might not have them like that, but I'll find them and put them in like that. I just kind of took screenshots of all these and made the tier list by hand. So yeah, we'll see. Starting with AFK, the snack vendor. This is a tier 2, so you're going to get it pretty fast. Blizzard hasn't exactly told us how fast that is. We just kind of got to get a feel for it once these actually come out, so we'll see. But this is one of the faster ones. I think there's only tier 3 or 2, 3, and 4 are the only 4 tiers. It's not doesn't go to like 1 or 5 or 6 or anything. So it's like 3 basically levels of how fast they're going to get it. I assume since they've picked tier 2, 3, and 4, it should correspond to like when you're actually on that tavern tier would be around when you'd get it. That's my guess, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, here's AFKs. So if you don't know, all the buddies try to synergize, of course, with the hero power that you actually have. So at the end of your turn, this is going to give your Tavern 3 minions 1/1. So of course, you get 2 Tavern tier minions by using AFK's hero power. So then they're going to gain 1/1. So there you go. I don't know. I think this one's all right. Actually, I kind of think it's bad because it's only going to give it to your tier 3s, but you get it kind of fast, right? And it's a 5/4. It's actually a good stat line. So I don't think it's like it's not my favorite, to be honest. I don't think it's great because AFK is not great as a hero either. I don't think this really puts her over the edge unless you're maybe trying to do some weird build where you just stay on tier 3 the whole time. That could be a thing. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I don't think it's the worst, but I'm probably going to put it in D tier below average. I don't think it's very good, personally. All right, moving on. We have Alec here. So his Battlegrounds buddy is the Spirit of Air. So it basically just gives his effect. It's a death rattle, and it just gives a random one of your minions the Alec here effect, which I think is all right. Sometimes I think you might not even I mean, I think it is pretty good, but you are using a minion slot on this, right? So it's kind of like a selfless hero, except it's just better. One interesting thing though is here that this is an elemental. So if you're in a game that doesn't include elementals, but you're Alec here, you'll just get this card anyway because it's your buddy. So of course you're gonna get it. And then if you play Hamul, then and you have only like these or like yeah these and Amalgadon. You got to make this your majority, of course, for Hamul to work. But you're just gonna get a bunch of Amalgadons in the shop because there's no other elementals in the game. So in that specific case, this could be really strong. Alec here could be really strong there. Overall, I think this is like probably just like a mid-tier one. Like it's all right. It's a decent buddy. I think it could synergize well with like a Terragosa probably. You just give that the Alec here effect permanently. Basically, it's a better selfless hero. So for now, I'm gonna put this in C. I think it's a C tier one. It's pushing B a little bit though. I can't lie. It's especially with the Hamul thing. You could throw it in B. Just for the Hamul thing, I may put it into B. That's quite strong. So we're gonna move on now to Alexstrasza. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Uh, it adds a random dragon of your tavern tier to your hand. It's a tier 3 one, so you get it moderately fast. This is good if you hold it until you're 5 or 6. How often are you gonna get to do that really with your being Alexstrasza? You're gonna be rushing the tavern tiers anyway, but you're still gonna take a lot of damage because the hero's not great in the first place. However, they did buff her to make it so that the tier 6 minions are no longer at a reduced rate, which it should have always been. So you get Calicos more often is basically what that means. This is a battle cry too, so Brand's gonna work with it. I think it's all right. I don't. I mean, it might be even pushing, kind of being bad, possibly. Like it's good. It's a random dragon too. You're not picking. But if you're 6, it's only gonna be Calicos. There are no other dragons on that tier, except for an Amalgadon actually does count as a dragon. So, which is also a solid card. I'm not sure where I'd put this exactly. I think it might be kind of bad. I think I'd say D. I'm not saying F. It's not terrible, but overall I don't think it's too good. I'm gonna move on again here to Arana. The buddy is Sklib the Demon Hunter. After you play a minion, your next refresh costs 0. So, I mean, this is gonna work really well with Arana and just like in general, playing a minion and getting your next refresh for nothing, that's really strong in general. And of course, you're gonna have 7 minions with her. So it's first of all, once you get her hero power, it's gonna make it a lot better, and it's gonna make it a lot easier to trigger her hero power in the first time because you're gonna be able to get those refreshes a lot faster. If you weren't even Arana, this would still be a good minion. This is like that elemental that reduces the tavern cost, except it's just any minion except elementals. So that one's very strong. I'm gonna say A for now. I might even say S, just depending on how I compare it to the rest of them. It's a really good one. Reforms is the loyal henchman, so after you kill a second minion, you're also gonna get uh, combat, a plain copy of it. Sorry, I'm reading too many different words here. So it's just the reform trigger twice, which also is gonna make it harder for your opponent to, like kind of screw you over and be a little bit of a bitch and you know uh, take away that minion that they don't want to give you. Like you can't really control combat as far as to know what second minion of yours is gonna die. It's a good stat line too. You get it early at 3, not early, but at an average time at 3. 6/6, pretty decent minion. Of course, the thing that makes this a little bit weak is it's just gonna have to be alive for its effect to trigger. So if this just gets sniped, well, SOL. So I'm gonna put that one into B tier, I believe. I would say because Performance Hero Power is already quite strong, so making it better is good. Now I can't find this one in the tier list. Let me just look at what it looks like again. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna put this one to B tier. Moving on, Brucon. This is the new hero. If you need a refresh of what his hero power does, because he's new, you basically choose an element and they have these different effects. You can read over these. So his hero power here it's a 2, so you get it pretty early. It's a 3/2, not great stats, but not terrible. So every time you call upon new element with said hero power, you will get the minion remembers it, and it'll call upon all those elements that it'll just keep remembering over time, and then so that's I'd say that's pretty strong, honestly. Now, something I need to know is whether or not it can stack multiple of the same element, or whether it's just gonna be like once you get all 4, that's it. Like it's just all 4. Because imagine if you started stacking this fire one, and you just started doubling and doubling and doubling, and you had a big cleave or a big like Wind Fury, Divine Shield minion, that could be really strong. So depending on whether or not that works, I'd say I would have to judge the power level of this. But you get it pretty early too, so that's also good. A lot of these are like quite useful effects, and you get it on top of your hero power triggering in the first place. Like you use your hero power and you've got this. I'm gonna assume it stacks, and under that pretense, I'm gonna actually say this is probably A tier. I think that's really strong because just stacking these like yeah, imagine this. You double your minions attack again and again and again. You can give your minions taunt, you can give them all this. You can damage all your opponent's minions. I'd probably say it's A tier. Possibly B, but it's cutting it close. Yeah. So A tier for now. Did I move it or not? Yeah, I did. That's the one. Okay. Some of them kind of don't look as if they'd be a buddy to a certain one. This one does. I just don't recognize this hero yet. But some of them are like, it's hard to figure out who would be whose. Moving on to Cthulhu's. It is a Tentacle of Cthulhu. After a different friendly minion gains stats, this gains 1/1 until your next turn. So I'm just realizing something here. This does not say after friendly minion gains stats from your hero power. It's just from anything. If one of your minions gains stats, so does this. So I'd say that's pretty good. But now I'm also reading that that's only until your next turn. It's not permanent. You do get this one pretty early. I'd say this is basically synergizes well with Cthulhu, but it's not really the best. So I'm gonna put that one in C tier. I'd say it's just about an average one. Captain Eudora, Dagwick Sticky Toe. At the end of your turn, give a random friendly gold minion 5/5. So once you get your gold with Eudora, you can just start buffing it like crazy with this. So, uh, I mean, I don't really know with this one. Like, you're not really too often gonna get a gold before your hero power has been used. So it's kind of useless up until then. Even then, it's just one minion that gets it, and it only gets 5/5. I don't know whether or not the gold version would make it 10/10 or would give it to two separate ones instead. Two separate would be twice, or like if it just does it twice, because then we still 10/10, or it could give it to two at once. C tier, I'd say. It's fine. Works with the hero, but I don't think this is going to push Eudora over the edge into being really good or anything. Hook Tusk gets the Raging Contender, so your hero power is now going to offer three options instead of just two, which is actually what it did before being nerfed. I imagine the gold one, you get this pretty early too, at 2, and 5/3 is a pretty good stat line. So overall, this is a strong minion. Yeah, I'd say this is good. I don't know if the gold version is going to give you 4 options. I think that would be interesting. So I'd say, yeah, this is maybe a little bit above average. This hero is already really good, so getting 3 options could make her a lot stronger. So I would probably put this at a B tier. It's like a little bit above average. I need to remember what it looks like, sorry. Alright, it's got like a shark. Here we go. Yep, so that'd be B tier, I believe. Corral. It's Captain Fairmount. It's a 3, and at the end of your turn, you give 3 random friendly minions 1/1. Do I need to explain that? I can. It's just not. It's not a good hero in the first place. Does this make it any better? I don't think so. It's just the hero power, which is already not good, and then you get to do it again. It's a good stat line. Does it push this hero over the edge? No, I don't think so. So that's our first F tier. Um, here's Chen Valla. His buddy is the Snow Elemental. That's a tier 2, so you get pretty fast. Bob is always going to offer an extra frozen elemental whenever you refresh the tavern. So that's really good because, first of all, it's frozen, so that also just helps if you do it right at the end of the turn. It's still going to be there. To make Chen Valla good, you need to be getting those elementals. And I'd argue that Chen Valla is actually very good when you do get the elementals. Still, you need to high roll a bit with Chen Valla. You get this pretty early, so it's going to help you be able to do that. I'd say B. I'd say this is probably an above average hero or buddy to synergize with the hero, not just as a standalone, but most of them are meant to synergize with the hero in the first place. So of course it's like that. I'd say it's a B tier, which is so far what I have the most of. I've put nothing in S tier. I've put only one thing in F because it sucks. I thought I'd have more in C, but I'm sure that'll fill out later. Maybe we're just getting through some good ones to start off with. Cookie. You can use your your hero power and extra time. So Cookie's already, like pretty solid hero, I'd say. It's a pretty fun one. I haven't really got to play it much, but personally, but I think it's a fun hero. So you're basically just able to use the effect of your hero power twice as often, and you get this one fast too. It's two, which it should be fast. It's not like it's a something that spikes you in power. It's just something that's gonna build up over time, so you want to have it early. I imagine the gold one would let you do it like even once more, which means you would just be able to complete your hero power all in one turn. I'd say C, C tier. Like it works well with the hero. It's pretty much all it does, but it's pretty solid. Now here's the thing though that I'm just realizing. Spoiler alert, I have looked through these before, not really like too much. I was like it was at 3 a.m. and I was entirely tired, so I actually forgot most of them. But I do know that there is a buddy that allows you to steal other people's buddies. So imagine getting this, just being able to use your hero power and extra time on other heroes. Let's see if that's even possible to do. That's just something I thought of. Either way, I think it's C tier overall. So that's where we're gonna throw it if I can find it. There it is. C tier. Daryl. His buddy is Asher the Haberdasher. After you sell a minion, gain 1/1. So it's just gonna further synergize with Daryl. Um, Daryl's alright too, especially if you're going for like a mid-range build. You're probably never gonna win too often with Daryl, but this just kind of just makes Daryl a little bit better at what he does. I wouldn't say this is great. I'd say this is just like, yeah, sure, it works with Daryl. This might even be pushing on being kind of bad because you get 3 buffs from the Daryl hero power. All this gets is 1, but it'll build up over time. You're selling a lot of things with Daryl. You're selling things in general in the game. I'll give it a C tier, but not much more than that. Here it is. Yeah. So now it's filling out. Blackthorne. After you upgrade Bob's Tavern, gain 2 blood gems. That's his thing, and he gets Death's Head Sage. You get that at 3, so about basically the normal time. And now here it is. After you gain a blood gem, you gain an extra one. That is incredible. That's not just with Blackthorne. It's hero power. That's anything. Any blood gem you get, you just get 2 of them. Of course, it doesn't work for end of turn effects where it just applies the blood gems automatically, but that's only like 1 card or 2. So every time you get a blood gem, you're getting another. I'd say that's probably one of the strongest ones. Of course, the only issue I would have with putting this in S tier is that it only works with Quill Wars. Like this is entirely useless if you're playing anything else. But really, if you're playing, well, I mean, as long as you have Blood Gem generation, it's not useless. So no, I'd say actually I'd say this is our first S tier. That's extremely strong. And I could even imagine now that the golden version of this is going to give you even an extra on top of that. So that's just 3 blood gems every time you should have 1. I would say that's an S tier. That one's really strong. So Deathwing, here we go. Lady Sinestra. Your minions have +8 attack. That's tier 3, so get it probably mid-game-ish. And it's a 3/8. It's pretty strong for stat lines. Notice this is your minions, not all like the hero power. So you're just really committing to that Deathwing playstyle, and your minions are going to have an extra 3 attack. Late game, this doesn't really matter much, but it helps you commit to playing Deathwing the way you want to. So, C. Dino Tamer Bran. He gets Bran's Epic Egg. It's got Taunt, and it's got a Death Rattle to summon a random Battlecry minion, and you're going to add a copy of that to your hand when it turns over. That's 2, so you can get that fast. This thing doesn't have any attack, much like eggs always do in Classic Hearthstone if you've ever played. So yeah, this will die because it has Taunt, and then you'll put something on the field, and you'll get a Battlecry minion. So that's actually pretty strong, just even if you weren't Bran, but you are Bran. So I'd say this is B, even pushing A. Just getting card generation is extremely strong. This could be an A tier if I'm considering it. Especially knowing that it synergizes with Bran, I think I'd put that in A tier. That one's actually quite good. The gold probably gives you 2. That's what I'd say. And it's probably 0-6 for no reason. He actually wanted to die. Actually, I just want to check if that had a tribe. Didn't. Guess an egg can't have a tribe. Hasn't hatched yet. Drakthar, this is a new hero. So let me remember what his hero power is. Choose a friendly minion. It copies the attack from your highest attack minion for the next combat. Cost 0. So, not a bad hero power. What does Buddy do? Well, it's a tier 3, and it gives your minions 1 attack permanently as an avenge. So, it's alright. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's terrible either. It's exactly what I call a C tier. Does work with the hero power pretty well. Edwin, using it the SI-7 Scout. So after you buy a minion, this is going to gain 1/1. Much like the Daryl one, sure. It's probably just C tier. It helps you with Edwin, how you're going to want to play him. And it's just going to gain 1/1 every time you buy a minion, which is something you're just going to do in the game anyway, even if you weren't playing Edwin. That's just something you would do. You buy a minion, this will just kind of grow over time. So it gains 2/2 when it's gold. So C tier. That's what I'd say. Now, yeah, now we're really filling out the C tier, so I spoke too soon on that. I assume most of them are, I mean, that's what the C tier is for, is to be average, so this makes sense. And now here's Elise. She gets the Junior Navigator. At the start of your turn, you get a recruitment map, and you're going to reduce the cost of your maps by 1. So already, Elise is just going to be gaining hella maps. You're getting it from the hero power, you're getting it from this. I assume since you're getting it on the specific turn, it'll just be of that tier that you're already on. It wouldn't just be randomized, or else that would be broken. Overall, I think this is kind of a little bit broken because the thing that makes Elise kind of bad is that the maps cost so much to use. So if they just don't cost anything because you reduce their cost by 1 and you slowly build that up, that's really strong. Overall, you're also just getting a card that lets you discover something each turn that you have this. So I would say that that's pretty strong. I probably put it in A tier. I think Elise is going to be pretty good again with this. Okay, so now we're at Omu, and the berry is the Evergreen Botany. At the end of your turn, or botany, because the word is pronounced botany. I don't know. Could even just be botany. At the end of your turn, you add a random minion of your tavern tier to your hand. So that's like really good, especially since you're tearing up really fast with Omu. I assume the gold version would give you 2, so really, really strong. It's 4 though, so it's gonna take you a while to get this one, which is fair because it's quite a strong card. So balancing all that, I mean, if you get to 6, you're just getting a 6 every turn. Of course, at the end of your turn, not the start, which is important because it means you can't just get the card and immediately play it. You have to wait till your next turn. But you could easily get to 6 with Omu, and you're just getting a card of your tavern tier. It's a random one though, of course. It's not discover. Okay, which is important. So I'd say for that reason, I put this into A rather than S, but that's still really strong. It's a really strong card. Good stat line too with the 7/6. If I could find the thing here. That's an A tier for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments too about if I'm an idiot. Call me out if you think you're agreeing with this. I'd love to hear the discussion on all these new cards. I'm really excited for this new update. I hope everyone else is too. And yeah, so leave a comment and tell me if you think I'm wrong about anything, right about anything, what you think is the best minion, what you think is the worst one. Leave some comments. I like discussing this stuff. Anyway, here's Fleurgal. So this is a 4. It's going to be kind of hard to get. And it's going to transform minions in Bob's Tavern into Murlocs of the same tavern tier. So pretty good, especially because it's a battle cry, so it's already synergizing with the whole Murloc idea. But you got to wait till 4 to get this. And all it does is turn everything into Murlocs. Of course, you can, like, what am I trying to say? You can make this better by purposefully having Murlocs of strong tavern tiers before you play this. But is it really that good when you have to wait that long and all it does is turn everything into Murlocs, which is of course your goal, but you're already Fleurgal. You can just do that by selling a minion. You can get another Murloc. I think this is fine. I don't think it's. I might even say it's D tier though, because you have to wait so long to get it, and it doesn't add that instant value exactly. It's not like it gives you a brand, which you'd want with him. I think it's good for him, but I think it could be better. So I'd say it's a D tier, personally. This might be the only F tier card. It's just horrible, guys. It's horrible. Galakrond. You get the Apostle of Galakrond, which is a tier 3, and it's a 5/7, so that's pretty strong, I'd say, for a tier 3. And it's going to replace minions in Bob's Tavern with ones of a higher tavern tier. So now, of course, you're going to get this on tier 3, but are you going to play it on tier 3? I certainly wouldn't. You'd probably wait until you can get some 4s and 5s in your shop, and then get the really strong cards. This is, of course, going to synergize with Galakrond's general game plan. So, yeah, you can also just use this to accelerate Galakrond's game plan and get your 6 faster than you normally would, plus make everything else stronger. So I'd say it's pretty good. Works pretty well with him. Most likely just a C tier, though. It is quite strong, though. No, I'd say it could be a B, actually. It's quite good just as an overall card, and the stat line is good. It also synergizes quite well, so yeah, let's put a B. Let's go B tier with this one. I'm having a lot of trouble finding these. You guys gotta understand, there's 75 of these things, and they're not in the same order. Oh my god, it was right at the top. Bro, there's no way. What did I even say this card was again? It's B tier! There it goes. Okay. That took me way too long to find, by the way. I'm like, you don't want to know. Galewing. The Battlegrounds buddy is the flight trainer. At the end of your turn, you progress your flight path by 1 turn. This is a 2, you're going to get really fast. It's a 4/3, which is a good card too. I think this is really strong, because Galewing was quite a good hero before the nerf, but, then of course, the nerf happened, so kind of ruined it. But I'd say with this, you're back on track to actually being quite good. Now, I don't know if it's as strong as to say it's above average, but I think it is pretty good. And it should push Galewing to be quite a bit better than Galewing is right now. But of course, each and every buddy is going to make their hero better. So where does that put Galewing overall? I don't know yet. I'd say this is probably just a C. Probably C. George. They're not going to show me. Okay, Blizzard. There it is. Carl the Lost. He's a tier 3, and every time you use your hero power, you're going to give all your Divine Shield minions to attack. So that's pretty good. You like it when your Divine Shields get more attack. You're probably using your hero power decently a lot, especially late game when you're George. But then the other argument there is that how much is 2 attack doing late game? Not sure yet. I would say this is fine. I'd probably put it at C. Like it just works well with George. It's like, sure, it'll work. I don't think it's anything special. So we'll go ahead and put that one C tier as well. Grabo gets the Wandering Tree Ant. Whenever you summon a taunt minion, give it 2/2. So clearly this is insanely strong. It's a 4/7 too for a tier 3. And with that Grabo hero power, every time you summon a minion, it's getting 1/2. That's an additional 2/2. 3/4 every time you do a in combat summon. And this triggers outside of combat too. So if you just put a taunt on the board, it's getting 2/2. I don't see how this doesn't make Grabo crazy strong. I don't know if I put it exactly in S, but it's definitely A. If it, I can't move this now. There we go. Consider putting it in S later, maybe. That's really good though. But I'm kind of reserving S for, being, that just that cream of the crop, absolutely like broken, probably shouldn't be in the game type ones. So the baby Kodo for Guff Rune Totem is right here. Is that a tier 4 it looks like? It's gonna refresh Bob's Tavern with a minion of each tavern tier. So it's 3/6 for tier 4. Um, and all it does is refresh the tavern with one of each tavern tier, which if you're playing as Guff, you're gonna want to be building your minions slowly. So by the time you get this at tier 4, what does that do for you? You're already gonna have the minions that you want to be building. And another thing is this hero sucks already in the first place. So I think this is another F tier. I just don't see how this particularly helps your game plan all that much, and it's being added onto a hero that already isn't great. I think the hero's just gonna suffer even worse now with this thing. By tier 4, you you're probably already dead. No, he's not that bad. But like you'd already have the minions that you want to be slowly building up with that hero power. You're not going to try to get new minions. The only thing I could say is maybe when it says each tavern tier, it means each tavern tier, and like even if you're only on 4, it'll like give you a 6 and a 5, which could be all right, but I have no way of knowing if that's true. And overall, it kind of just seems horrible, so I'm gonna put it in F tier. Sorry, baby Kodo. Oh great, and this is not working now. Hopefully it didn't ruin the whole thing. Excellent, it didn't. You love to see it. What was this thing called again? The baby Kodo, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you're F tier. I'm sorry. It's that sucks. This guy's not gonna get any better in this patch. Now, a month from now, I'm gonna come back to this tier list and he's top tier, and then I'm gonna be like, but I don't see how that's possible. It's just horrible in my opinion. Illidan gets this, the Eclipsion Illidari. So Wingman, your hero power, also gives immune while attacking for 1 attack only. You get this at tier 2 as well. So you get that incredibly quick. And you're going to keep it until late game because it's really good. Your minions will go first and get +2 attack before anyone else does anything. And they won't even take damage from those 2 attacks. I think we have another S tier on our hands. What would be even crazier is if the gold version just makes them immune while attacking ever instead of just for the first attack, which is like, of course, only the first one's going to actually probably be able to go twice in your combat, but that would just make it insane, which it already is. So I'm saying S tier. Just, yeah, immune while attacking. Like, that's crazy. Get it so early, too. should push Illidan to be one of the top heroes. Now we're on Toki. The Battlegrounds buddy is going to be the Clockwork Assistant. So you're just going to discover a minion from a higher tavern tier. That's a discover too, so you get to choose. So you're probably going to be trying to be pushing tiers with Toki anyway. You can even get to 5 maybe pretty fast and grab a 6, 4, grab a 5. Either way, pretty strong. This is just basically a triple effect that you just get. It's Battlecry too, so if you were to get a brand, that'd be pretty good. I'd say this is probably B tier. It helps with your, overall goal as Toki, and it's also just like really strong in the first place. So probably B tier. It's not like insanely good, but it's definitely an above average one, I would say. And now where the hell is it? Here it is. Um, B tier, I said. Jandis. Jandis gets Jandis's Apprentice. Not much creativity with this one, Blizzard. Sorry, but gotta speak the truth. After you speak swap minions, you give them stats equal to your tavern tier. So Jandis, I'd say, is already an underrated hero that's like decently strong. That's just gonna make it better. Like when you swap the minions, both of them are getting the stats too. So I mean, essentially, you can even just kind of farm stats on a certain minion by repeatedly swapping it. So that works. I'd say probably B tier. It's not like it only works with the hero power, it doesn't work with anything else. But it's still like pretty good. Makes the hero power definitely a hell of a lot better. So I'd say it's B tier. Definitely an above average one. Calthus, you get the Crimson Hand Centurion after Verdant Spheres, your hero power triggers. You give your whole board 1/1. That's pretty good. It is a 4/4 or a 4 Tavern Tier 4 minion. So it's gonna kind of take you a while to get this, and I also don't think it's, you know, incredible. It's all right. It's something you can do passively anyway every time you buy 3 minions. But I don't really think it's that great. I think it's kind of on the lower end actually, especially because of how long it takes you to get this and how Kael'thas isn't that good in the first place. So I'd probably put this one to D tier. It's not awful, but it's not great. Now King Mukla. He gets a crazy monkey. So after you feed a minion a banana, you can get an extra 1/1. It gets really early too. It's a 2 drop, and it's 4/4 at 2, so not terrible at all. And basically just makes your bananas stronger by 1/1. I assume the gold one gives it 2/2 each time, which is even better. So it only works with your bananas, which means probably just a C tier, but should help Mukla a lot with his whole plan. So I put it into C tier. Decently decent. It's decently decent, I guess. Um, yeah, it's a card. It works with the hero. That's pretty much what C tier is. Just average. Kurtrus Ashfallen. Never knew how to pronounce that. Don't know if I just did it right now. But he gets the Living Nightmare. After you buy minion Bob's Tavern, uh, after you buy minions in Bob's Tavern have +1/+1 this turn. So, and it's a 2 cost, so you can get that really fast. It of course helps with your hero power because you're trying to buy as many minions as possible. And this is just a thing in general, which means I'd probably put this at B tier because it helps your goal and it's just like that's solid. Like every time you buy a minions in Bob's Tavern gain 1/1. It's kind of just like Daryl but with buying. So, hey, not bad. Not bad. That'll be a B tier. Moving on to Lich Behasil. That I also don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly. We will see. Gets the Unearthed Underling. Whenever your hero would take damage, this minion gains 2/2 instead, which immediately makes this hero power actually not awful, because this has been the worst, in my opinion, the worst hero in the game ever since it was released. Why would you ever want to take 2 damage just to get a gold coin? Even if this hero power was just gain a gold coin, it still wouldn't be that good in comparison to how good a lot of the other heroes are. So why you would ever play this hero in the first place was always a mystery to me. But this makes it a hell of a lot better. Not only are you getting a coin for free every turn, this is gaining 2/2, and you're not taking damage. Here's another thing with this. If you have Wrath Weavers and you're playing demons, this is just another Wrath Weaver. But not only is it another Wrath Weaver, it's another gold one because it's getting the 2/2 rather than, or sorry, no, the gold ones get 4/4. So but yeah, it's another Wrath Weaver. If you gold this, it would be another gold Wrath Weaver. So I'd say that pushes it up to about an A tier. Anytime, like that synergy alone just makes this incredibly strong, as well as the fact that it makes your hero power a lot better. Every turn, this is guaranteed to gain 2/2 because you're gonna click your hero power every turn. You're getting $1 out of it, and you're not taking damage. Plus, it's a second Wrath Weaver if you're playing that kind of build, which pushes it up to an A tier. Maybe even S, but I wouldn't put it that far. Overall, this is really strong. So Lord Baerov is getting Baerov's Apprentice. Once again, not too creative, but I will say it's the same as Jandis, so at least they're consistent with the husband and wife here. Or are they sister and brother? I don't really know WoW lore. After you play a gold coin, gain 1 gold this turn. So I'd say this is all right, because Baerov isn't particularly great unless you're like, it's kind of like high rolling, but in a different way. It's like, yes, there's strategy to it, but sometimes it's just not going to work out for you. But however, if your opponent's tie, your hero power is now worth 2 gold instead of just 1. So that's not terrible. And, if you actually are winning your bets, which would be the high rolling, as I would have described it, you're getting 6 gold every time. So that's pretty good. Plus, there's pirate synergy. If you get gold coins from that, that's another coin that you're gonna be able to play. So B tier? You get it pretty early too. Because Baerov's not a great hero in the first place, but this might push him to be pretty decent. He's always a fun one to play too. Gambling is fun, I guess. Not really in real life when there's actual money at stake, but it's just my opinion. Uh, it's fun when you win. Anyway, yeah, I'd say I'll give it a B tier. Makes him quite a bit stronger. And it does synergize with the pirates, of course, too. You get it pretty early. So, there we go. We're going to put that into B tier, which is growing to be almost the same size as C tier. Apparently, I think a lot of these are good rather than thinking they're bad, which might mean my system is all off, but hey, who knows? I just think the buddies are going to help the heroes a lot, I guess. Some of them are kind of insane. Jaraxxus, also been one of the worst heroes in the game. How this doesn't cost 0, I'll never know. Or why it doesn't give them 2/2, I'll never know. Some heroes in this game were just infinitely worse than the other ones, and I had always wondered why until I was watching Crip at one point, and he pointed out that Blizzard just wants to sell you the battle pass, so obviously they're gonna make some heroes like dog shit, so that you want the battle pass so you don't get those terrible ones. Either way, this guy has sucked for a while. Let's see what he gets. You add a random demon to your hand. You get that at tier 3. It's a taunt. It's just overall a strong minion. Card generation, of course, is always great. A. I'd say A tier. Actually, card generation is very underrated, especially if you're trying to play that whole demon build thing, you know what I mean, where they every time you play, I mean even a Wrathweaver getting extra demons good. This is really strong because you're obviously playing demons if you're playing Jaraxxus. So sure, that's an A tier for me. Maybe B though. Is it really that good? No, it is though because you're getting a lot of, yeah, it's card generation, which is always really strong. Basically anything that does card generation I've had up here, which says something about my value of that because it is really good. Maev gets the Shadow Warden. Your next hero power makes the target golden and awaken 1 turn faster. You get that at 2. This is really good. Like that's a no. This is Oh my! It's a battle cry. I thought I thought this was just an effect that would just happen anytime you used your hero power, and I was like, I was like Blizzard, what? No, but if that's a battle cry, would Brand trigger this twice? I don't know. If you manage to actually triple this, which is it's a 2, so it's not that hard to get, you're gonna get 3 gold cards that are also of your choice, and you'll get them a lot faster than if you just use your hero power on them. So that alone is just insanely strong. You're guaranteed to now get 3 golden cards per like every match, because if this is a 2, I assume you're for sure gonna get that triple and like get them as get all these, or not triple. You'd probably want to sell one off, right? But yeah, like you just be able to get this effect 3 different times, which is insanely strong. So I'm gonna put it A or S. I don't have too many in S tier. What was my standard for S tier? Let's think about this. In S tier, we have the Illidan thing, which is crazy, and getting an extra blood gem. 3 triples, which basically just turns you into Zephyrs, to be honest with you. But you can just pick it out of the tavern and only get it in 2 turns, which isn't too long of a wait. I'd say A. I cannot in good conscience put this in S tier with the other 2, but it's really pushing it. If there was like an A plus, that's where that would be. I still have so many of these to review. Jesus Christ. I gotta kind of speed this up here. And I can't find this card. Here it is. Maligos. Okay, we're gonna try to go a little faster. I know you guys have probably been watching the video for a long time. I have no idea how long this has been running for. We're gonna speed up a little bit. Maligos, Nexus Lord. It's a 3 tier or 3 tavern. I'm speeding up. Arcane Alteration replaces it now with a minion of 1 tavern tier higher. So now you're just Galakrond, but it costs 0 and you can do it twice. So you're just really good. So this is I what the what? This is probably S tier. If you're on tier 4, you're essentially on tier 6. Not really, but you know what I mean. I'd say that's really good. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put an S. Is it on par with these though? Might just be. We have to hurry though. Master Nguyen has Lay Flamepaw. Power of the Storm now offers 3 options instead of 2. So now and you get that at 2, and it's a 3/6, and that's already a really good hero power. And I assume the gold one would give you 4 options. So get it really early too. S? We saying S, guys? Did we just get 2 S tiers in a row? Maybe. Maybe. I'm gonna do it. You get it so early too, and that's just a crazy hero power in the first place. That's an S. If I could, of course, find the thing. Yeah, there we go. Film that out a little bit. The S should be bigger than the F because I just think these are absolutely horrible, and few buddies are gonna come close to being that bad. Millhouse gets Magnus Manastorm. After you buy a minion, add one of the same tavern tier to Bob's Tavern. You get that on 2, and it's a 4/4, which is pretty strong. That's good because you're trying not to refresh. So I'd say probably B tier. Probably helps Millhouse, who's already like a pretty strong hero in some circumstances. It kind of just depends if you get lucky, which is also gonna. This is also gonna depend on if you get lucky. Like, are you getting a good one at the same tavern tier? I'd say it's B. Maybe C because it only really. We'll give it a B. Let's be nice. Yeah, I'm clearly being quite nice here because the distribution is heavily skewed to the positive. So, we're just generous guys. It's fine. It's fine. Philanthropy. Uh, Maleficent now is gonna get an Elementium Squirrel Bomb. Death Rattle, deal 4 damage to an enemy minion. Repeat for each of your mechs that die this combat. So this is just a kaboom bot. This is just a bomb, but it's like crazy. It's just a lot of bombs. Now here's the thing. Imagine you have a Baron with this, and you're already obviously playing mechs. I'd say this is pretty good. I don't know if it's great. Since I'm generous, as previously established, we'll say B rather than C. But it's towing the line there. And where the hell is it? Here. B. Bigglesworth, Little KT. Little Calthus. At the start of your turn, play a minion. Get a plane. Sorry. Start of your turn, get a plane minion from your lowest health opponent's warband. That's at 2. You're getting that pretty early. So I like this. You're just getting it. It doesn't. It says get. It doesn't say discover. But it also doesn't say random. So I'm gonna assume it's random, but maybe it's not, which would make it even better. Probably just getting it. You get it at the start of your turn, so you can play it immediately too. This basically just means that throughout the game, you don't suck, and you actually have a hero power rather than just having nothing until someone dies. So yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. I card generation, which we can tell I value, but I'm gonna say it's B. So now we're not being generous. Now I'm an asshole instead, right? I don't know. Where is that? Yeah, we're gonna say that's a B tier. There it goes. B tier is now larger than anything else. Mutanus gets the Nightmare Ectoplasm. When you devour this, spit its stats onto 2 extra minions. So your goal here is you're just gonna hope that with all the devours, eventually this gets a bunch of the stats that you gave to everything else, and then finally after that happens, once it's huge, you're gonna kill it, and it's gonna spit onto 2 extra minions. Whether or not the gold of this would make it so that it spits on 4 or it spits double the stats, I assume you'd rather get 3 of these than gold it. That's just my opinion. C tier. It works with the hero. Mutanus doesn't need to be any stronger anyway. I understand why they didn't make this great, but in a high roll scenario, yeah, that's really strong. How often is it going to happen though? Who knows? Baby N'Zoth now. Make a friendly Death Rattle minion golden. So you only get that at 4, of course, because it's quite a strong effect. You get to make something gold. You theoretically could do this 3 times in a game. I don't know how likely that is because it's a tier 4. It's going to be hard to do. N'Zoth is going to be a high roll hero at all times anyway. If you're already high rolling, this makes you stronger. I'm just going to put it at C. Nasdormu, the Chromie. Minions in Bob's Tavern have +1 for each time it's refreshed. So even if you weren't Nasdormu, where your first one's free and they're all going to get 1/1 instantly, that's still just kind of good. It's 6/6 as well. I assume the gold one gives it 2/2. So sure, probably B because it's just decent. It's just in general a good minion. However, late game it's not going to be great because you don't really care if your minions are getting like 1/1. The new ones you're about to buy, you're probably just kind of using them to supplement your build. So overall, maybe just C actually. It works well with the hero, and it's but it is quite good in the early game. So I'd give it a B. Overall, I'd give it a B because I'm generous once again. We learned this. Um, Dranosh Sorfang for the Horde now is going to also grant health. I think this hero is underrated already. So this putting on health is you get some pretty strong minions. This is good for as a mid-range build. I don't know if you're particularly winning with this hero, but this is gonna keep you alive a lot. Like imagine when you're having this do like 8/8. Like every time you buy a minion, you're just getting 8/8. Like in the mid game, that's pretty strong. Probably probably B, but it takes you a while to get it too. It's only tier 4, and give it a C. doesn't really change this hero too much. Definitely actually makes them quite a bit stronger, but as I've said, every hero will be getting stronger. So how much does this compare to the rest of them? I don't know. Probably just C. Patches gets the Tuskar Raider. Maybe a pun on the Tusken Raiders from Star Wars, or it's just a WoW thing that I don't get. Don't shoot me if I don't know it. Um, I give a minion 1/1 for each pirate you played this game. So, yeah, that's pretty good, especially if you manage to get a Hogger build going and save this for the end of the game. Like you play this on your last turn, you're probably getting a cool 200 at that point. So yeah, in that circumstance, it's really good. In any circumstance, it's kind of really good because it's just going to supplement your build a lot, and you're definitely getting a lot of pirates because your patches. So A tier, I'd say. Where's it? Um, dude, what? A tier. Wee Abomination. So it's a little wee man. Give a minion +1 health for +1 for each health your hero's missing. I don't know why I'm stupid and I can't read things. This is really good. This is basically just an island Battlemaster, but it does it to something else. So now you get to target this onto something probably with a lot higher attack than an island. Just like an island, it will work with Bran. An island's a great card in the first place, plus your patchwork. So probably, yeah, this is really good. I say A tier. Pyramid, not the greatest hero, but let's see what he gets. Whenever a different friendly minion gains health, this gains it too. So I it's not like Pure Mad's not great in the first place. How often are you using the hero power? This could make you really strong early game, but I don't know how far that carries you. You only get this at tier 3 as well. I'd say it might be D tier. It's not that great. Plus, we need more D tiers because I'm being so nice to all the other cards, eh? Wag Toggle is going to get an Elder Tagawag. Every time you play a minion of a type you don't control, you trigger your hero power. So, yeah, you get that at 4. Now, essentially, this can just be really good because, like, let's say you don't have elementals. You get a elemental, you just play it, that's a hero power. You sell it, you get the other one, that's another hero power trigger. In instances like that, it can be really good. However, your hero power isn't, like, insanely good in the first place. It's pretty good. It's not really one of the better heroes in the game, but with this, it could be. So, I could put this at B. Um, if I can find it, of course. So I've now realized that what I'm really basing this tier list off of is how much it improves your hero rather than how good it is in comparison to the other ones, which is probably what I should have been doing, but it's a little too late to go back now. So basically, yeah, I guess just keep that in mind when you look at the finished product. That's kind of the way I've been doing this. Rag. So your end of turn effects trigger twice. You get that tier 4, you get it late, but like, does it matter? No, that's crazy. That's S tier. That even if you weren't Rag, that's already insane. It just your end of turn effects doing going twice is great. And no other hero is gonna be able to get this other than ones that can steal, like I mentioned. But so you could be the only guy in the game with this, and it makes your hero power a lot better. That's S tier. I think I'm just gonna move it up here. There we go. So I've actually put 5 into S tier now. Is that accurate? I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. That's why you gotta comment if I am. Um, yeah, you gotta be like, I see everyone in the comments right now like, Like, bro, he has way too many in the upper tiers. This guy is the worst player ever. Like, all right, bro, chill. It's just a tier list. I'm making this at like 2 a.m. Give me a break. I'm trying to release it before the new update comes out too. Rakanishu gets a Lantern Tender. At the end of your turn, give a random friendly minion stats equal to your tavern tier. So it's just your hero power, but it's random and it's free. Yeah, it's fine. That's C tier. Reno, uh, he gets the Senior Tomb Diver. It makes your rightmost minion golden. This can be kind of quite strong. Like you do it to a Terragosa, that makes it permanent. Other than that, it's not gonna be permanent. But like, if you want to be a bad person, of course, which I would recommend you not do, you could put this onto a Soul Juggler and then just have a gold Soul Juggler. So don't do that because that's not nice to any other person that's playing in your game. But hey, you do you. Uh, Overall, this is actually quite strong because there's a lot of minions that you would want to be golden. However, you are wasting a minion slot on your board to do it. I'd probably put this as A tier though because there's a lot of minions that you can make their effect quite a bit stronger with this, which might push your build over the edge. Like a Baron, you use this to a Baron. That's crazy. So, which is also interesting if you do it to a Baron because it's a death rattle, so it happens twice. But it's gonna be your rightmost minion 2 times rather than your 2 rightmost minions, or else it's really broken. Either way, I say it's A tier. Which I have now begun to fill up, apparently. Okay. So once again, I'm quite generous with this. Scabs. Warden Thelwater. At the start of your turn, add your next opponent's buddy to your hand. That just kind of happens. You don't get this till very late, but like that just occurs. You don't even have to spend money or gold or anything. It's not like it adds that onto your hero power. It just straight up happens. And it's at the start of your turn, so you can play it whenever you want. Like I said, card generation is really good. But not only is this card generation, you can get exclusive buddy cards that may only be good for your opponent's buddy, but hey, you're not paying anything for it. It's free. And they could be something, you know, really strong that you wouldn't be able to get any other. Only 2 people in the game are going to have that buddy, you and the person you stole from. So unless you get into some test shenanigans where you're all stealing from each other, that'd be kind of funny. But yeah, I'd say that one's an S tier. And we are finally making it to the end here. I don't know how long this video's been going for. I'm sorry if it's like an hour long. I think it probably will be at this point. My bad, guys. Shutterwalk. You get a Muckslinger right here. After you play a minion, add a random battlecry minion to Bob's Tavern. You get it too really early. I probably put it B. It's like a little bit above average. Definitely helps with your thing, with your hero power. Um, so yeah, probably B tier. Um, Battlegrounds buddy for Silas is Birth. Nice. After you buy a ticket, buy a minion with a Dark Moon ticket, you gain 1 gold. So this is gonna reward you for just picking the minion with the ticket rather than the best minion. You're just like getting some money back for doing that. So that's good. Plus it'll just kind of make everything a lot cheaper. I'd say it's probably C. You know, it works with the hero, but it's not great. I need to start saying that a lot more with all these. I could review this tier list later, but will I? No, the video's long enough already. Syndragosa, the Thawed Champion. At the end of your turn, add a random frozen minion from Bob's Tavern to your hand. It's a really good stat line for 3, and it's probably pretty good. The only thing I'm wondering is, what if you kind of just want to keep certain ones in there and it just gives it to you? That could kind of screw up your game plan. But your really game plan with Syndragosa in the first place is to be super early game. So also another thing I've just thought of is this is a free minion that you won't get till the end of your turn, but it's free. You just freeze any minion. You only do it to a single one, and then this will just give you that exact minion that you wanted, and this costs 0. So that's a free minion. So with that, B or A? Probably A. A free minion's good. You don't get it till 2. No, you get it 3. Yeah. Yeah, free minion's really strong. That's an A tier. Sir Finley, it just gives you of the buddy of the one you stole. This could be a disadvantage because this is a 3 and you might not get a 2 buddy or buddy that you're supposed to get it to until 3, which might be bad. Or it could be an advantage in the same way by getting a 4 early. So works with the hero power. It's fine. C tier. Moving on again. Sky Captain Craig. We're getting Shark Bait. Refreshes your hero power. It's a 4 and that's a battle cry, so I don't think Bran would make it refresh your hero power twice. What would that do? That's pretty good though. The only thing I have to wonder is when you refresh it, does it reset to gaining only 1 gold rather than however many you'd be at that time? Because if so, kind of sucks. If not, it's quite strong. Would have to imagine. Probably just put it at C to be safe. You don't get it till 4 either. I don't think it's too good. Sneed, the piloted Whirlotron. So Battlecry, copy a friendly minion's death rattles. This can be kind of insane, honestly, because regardless of even if you're putting the whole Sneed hero power on it, you can just copy a death rattle from a minion that's like, you got a minion with a really strong death rattle? Yeah, sure. Let's just make it even better. I don't know if the gold one would copy a friendly minion's death rattles twice. That would be pretty strong. But yeah, I'd say overall this is just really good. Probably put it A tier. It's death rattles plural too, not just one death rattle. If you manage to get multiple ones on minion, you're getting them all. Tamsin. She gets the monstrosity. After a friendly minion dies, gain its attack. So yeah, that's good. But really, is it is it all that good? Because Tamsin already sucks. You're killing your lowest health minion. Of course, there's that strategy where you'd have the dragon that's essentially has poison because of how much attack you can put onto it, and you just kill that. Then this would gain its attack, but that's just like all your other minions would already. And Tamsin sucks as a hero. If you put this right at the end, sure, it could be strong as your other minions die, but you'd have to get taunts to make that really work. Uh, I can't. I don't think I can put it F tier because I don't think it's as horrible as these two, but it's not good. I'd say D. This is one I can easily see myself being wrong about, but I personally kind of just think it sucks. Tavish Stormpike, this is a new hero, so I kind of don't remember what it does. Oh, right, it's the one where you can shoot something. So let's see what the buddy does. After your hero power fires, give adjacent minion stats equal to the damage dealt. Hey, now I think that's pretty good. Especially if you put that on a cleave or, like a Divine Shield, strong minion like that. This is just going to gain throughout the game. So, yeah, it's not bad, but I don't know if it's that good either. So, see? Tess. Now you get the Hunter of Old. At the start of your turn, add your last opponent's buddy to your hand. So, just like the Scabs one, that's just a thing that happens. It's not, you don't have to pay for it. So, yeah, in the same sense, that's S tier. It's just going to be your last opponent rather than your next one. Now we're on the Curator. This hero power is the Mishmash. Whenever your Amalgam gains stats, this gains it too. So and it has the all typing, and you get it at 2, so you get it really early. So essentially, yeah, this is really good because it's already just another amalgam, which is great because an amalgam is great as a hero power in the first place. So now you have 2 of them, and on top of that, every time this gains stats, so does this. Plus, I imagine the gold one, like every time this gains stats, this gains double those stats. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's probably S tier actually, because these cards are very valuable. Something that can gain stats from anything. Now you have 2 of them, and this gains all the stats this one gains. That's crazy. That's got to be an S tier. Oh god, this video really is gonna run for an hour, isn't it? I'm sorry. Okay. Street Magician here for Akazam Zarak. Puts a random secret into the battlefield. That's as your death rattle. So, um, this could just give you Ice Block, which is funny. But will it? Probably not. I'd say it's alright. That transfer in extreme high roll does make it pretty intriguing, though. And I assume the gold one puts 2 into the battlefield rather than just 1. That's a C tier. Lich King gets Arthas, his dog, of course, and that it itself has reborn, and your other reborn minions now are gonna summon an extra copy after dying. You get that at 2 really early too. So work on hero power will just work on any other reborn you have. I imagine there's quite a bit of shenanigans you can kind of do with this. I would probably put it at A, pushing S. Moving on to the Rat King. You got 2 kings in a row. You get the Pigeon Lord, of course. Yes, not the Rat King, but the Pigeon Lord. Your refreshes are going to cost 0, while Bob's Tavern doesn't have the minion type of your hero power. So, yeah, you can keep rerolling it. Again, the Rat King, not just the greatest hero in the first place. So, does this change much? No. C tier? Yeah. Doesn't make them quite a bit stronger, no, I would say. Now we've got Ticketus, and the buddy is the Ticket Collector. The battle cry is to discover a Dark Moon prize from your most recent prize turn. So if you hold this until like 12, if you're alive by then, you're gonna get another one of those prizes. If you hold it to even 8, that's also quite good because you're getting 2 of those. If you manage to get all 3 of these in one game, you can do this a lot, which makes this card really good. It's a battle cry too, so you can trigger Bran off of it. So yeah, overall, is that pretty good? I think so. I think that's about an A tier. Of course, if you, I forgot there's actually turn 16 Dark Moon prizes too. If you somehow are alive by then, if your game's lasted that long, and you use this, you won. I'm saying you just won the game at that point. Now we've got Gallywix, so we've got the Bilgewater Mogul. Give a minion 1/1 for each gold you spent this turn. So yeah, like if you're Hogger doing something, or if you're just managing to gain an absolutely insane amount of gold, that's good. Even just as a regular, like if you weren't Gallywix and you spent all your gold on a later turn of the game, that's 10/10 to something, and it's a battle cry, so it could trigger with a brand. Probably put it somewhere between B and A. Put it just A because of the absolute high roll potential you can have with this. Sure, maybe B actually. I don't think it's. Eh, this could be really good. We're gonna do B actually. Almost done, guys. We're almost there. Now, Vandar Stormplague, new hero, so I don't know what he does. Except actually I do because he's just the same as that other guy, but he does it with health instead of attack. So similarly, that's a C tier. And now the C is actually, once again, finally the biggest tier. I still have like way too many up here, but that's just because, like I said, the way we're kind of doing this is that it's going to be based on its ability to improve your hero rather than its ability to improve your hero or anything like that compared to the other ones. So there's just going to be a lot of high ones because I think a lot of these improve the hero quite a bit and are just generally strong. Master Gadrin for Vol'jin here. At the end of your turn, adjacent minions copy this minion's attack. So your goal here is you want to make this your biggest minion every time you have a minion that's really strong. You're just going to swap it with this guy. And then now two of your minions can be your biggest minion. Oh, three of them because this is already going to be it. So is that really strong? Yeah. Is Vol'jin already a pretty good hero and probably one of my favorites because of how fun he is? Yeah. Is this an S tier? Yeah, I'd say so. I do believe, I feel like someone will figure out some kind of shenanigans with this card. When I first saw it, I thought, for some reason, I thought instead of um, copying the attack, it would just like gain its attack. And I thought that there would be like some sort of insane shenanigans you would be able to do to get infinite attack. Someone could still figure that out. Okay, now hold on actually. I'm realizing that this says attack, not stats. So I may move it down to A for that reason, but still, if you have something with a lot of attack, that's still, we'll leave it an S, but I can see how it's not quite as strong as I initially assumed now. Like, if you gain the health too, that'd be crazy. So actually, maybe I'll move it to A. Yeah, we're gonna do it. That's A. Zixrella, don't know how to pronounce that. Maybe Zurella, I couldn't tell you. After you play a minion with attack equal to its health, this gains 2/2, so that synergizes with your hero power, and anytime you just do that in general, this is going to gain 2/2. I assume the gold one gains 4/4. It's a 2-drop, you get it pretty early. Is it that great? No. Does it work with your hero? Yeah, C tier. We're really close to the end here. We have Yash Raj, who gets a baby version of Yash Raj. Whenever you summon a minion of your current tavern tier, give it 4/4. Now here's the thing. If this adds, your hero power adds a minion of your tavern tier to your hand. So does that retain the 4/4 that it gets from this? That I don't know about. Is this decently strong anyway? Yeah, in the mid game. Yeah, it can be actually quite good in the mid game. I'd probably give it a B just for that, but it'll fall off like yeah. But just anything in your tavern tier gaining 4/4 is like really, really strong mid game. So strong that I might even move it up. We're gonna leave it at B. Yogg gets an acolyte of Yogg. You spin the wheel of Yogg's Thrawn. So here's the thing. You get that at 3, it's a 5/4. I don't know what the hell that does. I don't know if someone's data mined it by now, but I haven't seen it. So we're just gonna put it at C because just like Yogg, we don't know what the hell we're getting. This could be anywhere from C to F. Or S to F, I mean. We're gonna put it at C. Is that even the right card? Yeah, it was. Okay. Now Yazara gets a no, I'm not saying that. Dragons and Bob's Tavern have 3/3. So early game to mid game, really good. Yeah. Late game fall off. Yeah. But do you care? No. Probably A tier. And the last one is Zephyrs, who gets Firez, but like I'm not saying it again. You discover a plain copy of a minion that you have exactly one of. So now at this point, you're just choosing your triples. Like you get a brand and you're okay, if you get a brand, then you're doing this twice, which is already really good. But yeah, it's just gotten to the point where you can just straight up choose a triple. Like you're like, oh, I have one of this card. Let me just discover another one of it and then use my hero power. Now I have a triple of that card. You just kind of decide. It's like almost like a Reno. Yeah, it's like a Reno, but it just costs 3 and you gotta wait for the buddy to get there. But then you can do it 2 more times, which Reno can't do. So is this really good? Yeah. Is it an S tier? Quite possibly. For now, I'm gonna say A. No, if I'm putting this A, this is S. Like, there's just no. Yeah, this is an S tier. Okay, well, this is the completed tier list. So let me know in the comments if you disagree or agree with anything. You probably disagree because I put a lot of things way too high, in just as opposed to a normal tier list distribution. But hey, I think a lot of these cards are gonna make their heroes a lot better because I'm just in general really excited for this update. It's gonna break the game for sure. There's gonna be some of these that are way too busted and some that are horrible, and there's gonna be some game breaking stuff. So I'm excited for that, but at the same time I'm not. Um, Also let me know in the comments. Yeah, I think I already said this, but like out of all the buddies, which one do you think is the absolute best, and which one do you think the absolute worst is? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Right before I go, you know, like and subscribe, do all that stuff that they tell you to do. Leave comments, all that. It increases my engagement, and this took a long time for me to do. If you stayed till the end, you a real one. I hope you guys enjoyed. And one more thing, special shout out to these 2 cards because you are awful. See you guys.